Yo, what is good? My anime people, what is good, yo? So, very agano, very interesting episode this week. What's that scary? A lot of exposition that is just gonna help fill out the story as a whole. Um, we get to finally kind of learn where Wolf, Mr. Wolf Boy, has gotten his inspiration from, or who he's been working for this whole time when he's been kind of giving off the motif that he's been fighting for someone, and then he just winds up switching it up out of nowhere and kind of just doing his own thing. So we kind of have an understanding why he was doing that, or at least why it looked like that, seeing how he was working for a couple of sides throughout this whole thing. So it was interesting to see, what he, thought he might get out of this, because we still don't know that. Like, what was said by this guy to get him on the squad, to get him to, fight for something he might not really care for. And whenever you kind of go for a man that's already lost in a loss of like everything, what does he have left to give? Like, what is it that he can offer that's even worth to this person? Like, why is it a thing that he wants him, and where is it gonna lead him at the end? But with all that being said, we really don't know how much is going to come from all this in the case of him now showing up and attacking one of our main characters. It's unclear as to how he even knows they're there, um, but to think that she might have to deal with him alone, the wolf guy, would be all bad, because I'm pretty sure she's already shown us that she can't beat him on her own, right? Like, she's not going to easily solo or take this person out, regardless of what she's gonna try to do. Simply because he's a lot more trained and skilled with his fairy, seemingly. We've seen him time and time again fighting and not showing any type of weaknesses or technique flaws, because not only is he one of the first people we saw fighting without a fairy, he's also one of the first people that we've seen handling his own against fairies, even if they come at him while he is not using his own. So he's clearly well trained, just like all the soldiers we have that our main girl is working for. So he has that type of training, and almost better, because I think he was a better fighter than Free. And I think that's another reason why he kind of held him at a high regard. Being a better fighter than him, being just better in general, would mean he would want him to lead by example, or just lead in general, or at least be around to continue to figure out what the heck's going on after they supposedly lost and needed to surrender, blah blah blah. Um, I'm definitely looking at all of the angles of this show, because we got to go back to the old village and see what has changed and what hasn't changed. And to think that the bear we saw all chained up in the throne was the same one that we learned a little bit about, of him raging and going on and on against the people in the village when we saw her growing up. So we kind of have a good understanding, or a better understanding at least now, of where his bigger plot lies, and seeing how all that stuff has already popped off and has happened, it leads me to believe that something else is coming up very soon. Something else is about to pop off, or at least it's already popping off very heavily, with the end of the episode being one of the more gruesome and one-sided things we've seen in quite some time. With one of the head ups just absolutely getting annihilated and eaten up. Definitely did not see that coming. So to know that it's fair game to just chew up and munch on some of these people is pretty interesting. So with that all being said, though, I'm still looking forward just to where where all of this goes in the end, because with this divine beast and like what with all the stuff they're talking up about it, it sounds like they will be able to do, whatever they think is going to happen from them having all this power and having all this uh, you know now inspiration and all these followers and all this different stuff. They think they're untouchable. Like they pretty much reached a point where now their beliefs are so strong in what the person's been telling them, and that's mainly because they have results. They have things that actually show, progression is happening. So that's what really changes the narrative of the story when it comes down to us just learning as a whole what is really possible with the power that they can possess further on in the show. Because we've seen the fairy weapons and how much of an even footing it gives humans without fairies against them. Like you could just straight up walk up on a fairy with the fairy weapon and you would be fine, right? So that's kind of where the story had to start going. So to know that they made a higher level of the fairies that shouldn't be able to be taken out that easily, like for instance by a cut of just a little cut of a fairy weapon or something like that, they shouldn't go out without taking some serious damage at least, or at least needing to be hit with some serious power. But with all that being said, I don't really know where Fairy Gone is going to go at the end of the day, because we've seen um, we've seen a lot of the characters pretty much do what they're going to do. Like there's not a lot I feel like is missing with these characters in the grand scheme of them doing something big on screen. So I think anybody's on the chopping block at this point. So if you have any characters you like, I hope you made peace with them, because at any given time it looks like they could be taken out at any given time. That's just what it feels like with how this show is being told, and how the first guy kind of went out. Ox, there was no warning. They just did it. They just dropped him for whatever reason, and that's just how these stories be going sometimes. And that's why I say it feels like anyone's fair game, because he was a pretty cool character, but at the same time, when he got taken out, we didn't know much about him, so it didn't feel like that much of an impact compared to how much an impact it was on our main girl, with him taking, like diving on top of her to save her instead of just protecting himself or whatever. So we'll see how all this plays out. I'm really been enjoying this show a lot. I know it's not for everybody, and I definitely learned that the fast way with how little attention this show gets. But regardless of all that, if it's good and I can be passionate about it and talk about it, I'm going to try to get it out there as much as I can, and it's up to you guys now to like and, share it around and stuff to get it in the YouTube algorithm. Have some people asking, what is Fairy Gone? But regardless, your boy will be back with some daily content. Your boy, the Anime G. I hope you guys are having an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case may be. I am going to be dropping some more daily content soon. Just not until tomorrow, so I hope you guys are looking forward to that, and I will definitely talk to you then. Monday is another day of anime, so can't wait to talk to you guys soon. So with all that being said, take care and peace.